Welcome back to I Pick Passion and Funny, the podcast where we dive into what lights people up from the inside out. Today's guest is the hilarious and vibrant Courtney Haynes, comedian, world traveler, and proud vegan repping LA. She's funny, fearless, and full of stories that'll make you laugh and think. In this episode, we talk about her comedy journey, traveling the world while keeping it plant-based, and how young Courtney helped shape the powerhouse she is today. Plus, some travel chaos, a few laughs, and gems of wisdom that'll have you chasing your own passion just a little harder. Oh, and stay tuned because Courtney shares a few sex playlist recommendations you're going to want to add to your rotation. Listen up.
Sydney. So
Yeah.
it's just going to be what it is.
Girl, it's all good. I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate the realness. That's what I want. I want the authenticity.
It's going to be what it is. It's going to be what it ain't.
I love it.
At the end
Welcome
of the day,
to the show. Huh?
Listen, at the end of the day, day going in.
That's right. Welcome to the show, Courtney.
At the end of the stream gonna stream. Hello. Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, boo-boo. Yeah.
What's up? I'm happy we're able to make this happen.
For sure.
Yeah, I have a game. It's called Hella Awkward. It's an icebreaker that I love to, do at the beginning of the show.
I love awkward.
It is 4 categories. I'm going to give you each category. You tell me which one you want to choose. I'll give you the question. You give me the answer.
All right.
Okay. We got relationships. We got sex. We got real talk. And we have dating.
Ooh, you said we have relationships, real talk, sex, dating. I feel like you can have real talk about relationships, sex while dating.
Okay.
Okay. Let me
we can do all 4 if you want. You know what I'm saying?
Love though. How are we gonna do 1 or 2? Like how
you
many?
can do 2 if you want. You can do whatever you want to do.
Okay, let's start with sex.
All right. Ooh, we getting right to it. I love it. All right. Name the top song on your sex playlist.
Well, that's easy-ish. All right. I would say, it depends on the vibe. It depends on the person, right?
Okay.
It depends on the person. I hate to break this down, but where I'm at in my life, I'm into love making. I'm into deep connection.
Yes.
I'm into euphoria, you know what I'm saying, in the session, right?
Yes. All of it.
I think I'm gonna go with Tiana Taylor. How do you want it? Which is crazy because it's like, okay, well, Tiana Taylor, but I'm gonna go with Tiana Taylor. How do you want it?
I'm trying to think if I ever heard this one.
Okay.
I might have to add this to.
Now, it's not like a love making like song.
Okay.
But it has some notes to it.
Okay.
How you want it? Okay, I'm gonna play this one. But I got a whole sex playlist. We can start with this one.
Hey, this is a sample. She sampled this.
Totally.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm here for it.
That's been in my vibe lately. I've been like, that's what I've been listening to lately. I'm gonna say that, but that's on the playlist.
Okay. I love that. So that's number 1. All right, I'm feeling that. Yeah, so what would be number 2? I just gotta know number 2.
Number 2, let's see, right now, vibe that I'm in, I would have to see Trey Songz. Hold on.
Okay. I already know where you're going with it, I think.
Where do you think I'm going? Well, I find the actual song. Where do you think I'm going?
Neighbors Know My Name? Okay, nope. Okay, all right.
You get another guess. This is a game in a game.
Ooh. Dang, he got a couple of them. I don't know. That's the only one that came to my mind right now. And you know what's so funny? I'm looking at my Apple Music and I'm like, I don't have no Trey songs saved in my library. How is that possible, Erica? And actually, I have a sex playlist too. And I was sitting here thinking, I was looking at mine and I was like, in order, if I had to say what's on mine in order, I got Stroke You Up by Changing Faces. That's number 1. Then I got Meeting in My Bedroom by Silk.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
That's the top 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here. Okay.
Yeah.
That's top 2.
So what's the Trey Songz?
Okay. It's okay. It's All We Do.
I think I heard this one.
Girl, this is off the is this Trigger Reloaded? I think this is Trigger Reloaded.
Okay.
It's a slow that kind of pulls me in, not just the words.
Yeah, I was like, it's definitely the beat. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a slow, like if you're doing a sexy dance, you start with it and then it builds up. And then when you kind of, get into it.
Vibe, I'm feeling.
Anyway.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah, I'm
long
with it.
playlist. It's a long playlist, but then you got slow. You got Jamie Foxx slow in there too. I
Yes.
mean, it's a long playlist. Erica, we don't
Jamie
have.
Foxx got some. He got some ones. He
Oh,
on mine too, girl. He's on mine too.
listen,
I,
the whole podcast could be about different sex playlist songs and why and where and how.
it could be. I have 74 on mine. I'm looking at it right.
You got me beat
74.
because like my ADHD don't allow me to stay focused on one thing for so long. But I could put together a cool 30 without getting distracted.
Now, see, this was built over time. This wasn't all at one time. It was
Oh,
accumulated over time. Yeah,
ooh, ooh,
yeah,
another one. Ooh, now you got me thinking about R. Kelly. R.
yeah.
Kelly, Strip for You.
Okay, yes.
I don't,
R. Kelly.
not while it's happening, but like in the car drive on the way.
Yes.
You know,
Ooh, yes.
there needs to be two playlists. You can't have one sex playlist. You have to have a pre-sex playlist, a sex playlist, and then a pre-sex playlist. You got to have a car drive, like riding to the crib playlist.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
you gotta have a, okay, we home. What were we doing before? Okay, we might need to shower, kind of keeping the mood as it should be, but still
Mm-hmm.
sensual, but not too much because you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
skip steps. We got shower first,
Mm-hmm.
get nasty. And then there's the actual when it's going down playlist. There's levels to the
Yes. Yes. I love that. I might even say post sex like playlist. Like we might because
yeah.
then we just maybe cuddling or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Or
Yeah.
Trey
Yeah.
Songz, Gotta Leave. What is it? I don't wanna leave.
Yeah.
Gotta go right now.
It could be that.
I'll be back to hold you down. That's what I would. I
Exactly.
don't wanna leave. Then,
Exactly. It could be any of that.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
because it's
Depending on the
time to go. It's too
person.
rude.
Yeah.
You sing slowly, softly about dipping.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Okay. Okay. So did we want to do another one or we did enough on the sex? Perfect. All right. All right. Now we're going back. We're going back. Who was young Courtney?
Oh,
What were you into before comedy or did you always know that comedy was your thing?
young Courtney. So
Uh-huh.
it's crazy. So young Courtney is almost a reflection of adult Courtney. Very like goofy,
Okay.
quick-witted, a little bit of a smart ass, but super, super loving, kind, and determined. And I was always a creative kid. And so before I knew I wanted to do comedy or pursue comedy like in my adult life or had that dream, I
Mm-hmm.
was really athletic. I played soccer really, really well. So first thing I was kind of known for was being, athletic, aside from the characteristics, but the thing that I was doing was playing soccer. I was really,
Mm-hmm.
really, really, really good at it as a youth. And then I wanted to be a singer. So simultaneously, I'm singing, when little kids sing in the car, they be on key. They're like, "Oh, that's crazy, little
Yeah.
sis be on key, okay." Like, this minor is singing an A minor. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, like my family, like I remember my aunt made a comment in the back of the car, or when I was singing in the back of the car, my aunt was like, "You're gonna go." Telling my mom, "You're gonna go to all her concerts one day." Mom was like, "Oh." So originally, the performing and using my personality or my talents to entertain, I thought when I was a kid I was gonna be a singer, not knowing that, yeah, that vision of being an entertainer and using your gifts and being on stages would still fit within the scope of what, the dream was, but just more kinda in a different way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. It's so funny. I have a car story too, a singing in the back of the car because singing's always been, a thing for me too. Which I really can sing, you know what I'm saying? I've been in the band, church choir, all the things. But this particular day, my dad decided that he wanted to because my dad thinks he's a comedian.
Oh,
Okay.
I love
And
that.
he decided he wanted to try to joke on me. I'm in the backseat, I'm like 12 years old. I'm singing my heart out. Eric Benet, Tamia, Spend My Life with You.
Mhm.
I'm singing my heart out. And my dad's like, Erica, will you stop singing? Because like you can't sing. And I'm in the back seat. Look, he was joking, right? But listen, but I'm 12, right? And I was so in it. And it hurt my heart so bad. And I started crying. I'm like full on crying. And he's like, is she crying? Like,
Yeah,
Erica, I was just joking. I was like, yes, I'm crying. Like,
that's how
I felt
seriously I
that.
take it. Right, yeah.
Yeah. I was, but anyway.
It's that, but it's weird how, like, like those little, like, small things or those critiques or those jokes can have an impact. I remember And so did that stick with you for a while? Like, did you feel
Did
like insecure about singing for a little while until you had to
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. When I was maybe like 9, I was singing
Mhm.
for my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, big in like theater, theatrics. She loved to sing. She was the entertainer. I think that's where I get a little bit of that entertaining spirit from character. I sang for her. I was maybe like 10. And I was singing, and she was like, "You're doing good, baby, but you need to sing from your diaphragm and you sing from your stomach. You're singing from your nose. So I need you to da 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 da." And that small critique, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm not doing good." Like I took that, and for a while, I kind of, I'm not gonna say it dimmed my light, and of course
Yeah,
she didn't like, but it was kind of like as a kid, you're just like, oh man, like it's not good enough. I want to be great, and this isn't great,
yeah,
then I don't want to do it anymore. It's like
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Over time, you have to learn what constructive criticism is and
Oh yeah, yeah.
what real.
I never could take it well as a kid, but then as now, of course, I can. As I've gotten older and careers, and I can take it now. But then I was like, "What? You telling me I can't sing? Like, huh? Joke or not?" I'm like, "No." So yeah, it's yeah. And then the diaphragm thing, like singing from your diaphragm, which I kind of I've had that critique also because I used to like it was more singing out of my nose, so I had to kind of learn how to bring it up. You know what I mean? So yeah, I dealt with that too. But anyway, okay. So looking back, do you think that younger you would be surprised by the life that you live now? Okay.
No, not at all. She'd be
Okay.
like, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm so excited." Like we visualize, like it looks a little different from our visions, not gonna lie, but she'd be like, "Okay, cool." Like cool. She'd just be
Oh,
excited. Yeah.
I love it. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's so cool. So when did you first fall in love with comedy and what made you stick with it?
I feel like it happened in 2 parts. I think, like,
Okay.
when I first fell in love with comedy when I was a kid watching In Living Color and Jamie Foxx show
Mhm.
and the Wayans brothers, because again, I was a silly, goofy kid. So to see on TV people getting paid, what? To be
Mhm.
silly and goofy? Like, you can do that? Wow, that sounds like that's fun. So the idea of that was cool. Like, I wanted to work at Jingles 2000 when I was like 11. Like, I was like, I started looking at like jingle jobs. Like, I was like, how do you, oh, that would be so much fun. And so as I got older, though, like, of course, naturally life and the path and, expectations and all those different things and just, I don't know, your livelihood led me
Mhm.
down the path of being like, okay, like what's something the like professional space, as I'm getting my education that I can pursue that, is uses my personality enough, right?
Mhm.
And so I started doing that, but it was when I got to college, that's when I knew like, okay, like, and I fell in love with performing in front of people. So I did different
Mhm.
things like, sing at talent shows and different things like that. That was fine. But it was just this little exercise in like a club in college. And I say club, like a membership club, not like a and
Mhm.
people were laughing at it. It was like an icebreaker thing, and a group, somebody had to do it. I was like, I'll do it. And people were laughing, and it was like mostly improv with a little bit of preparation. And I was just like, man, like, oh, wow, like I can do something or say something, and people will laugh, like out of just a
Mhm.
conversation. That's when
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can do this thing, you know? So I
Yeah.
think that's when it really hit home.
I love that. Yes. Yeah, I'm here for that. Yeah, it is something when you get that feeling because like I do improv now and I'm in my third session doing improv and it is something when you get those that you're on stage you're performing it is something about it that just it feels like oh, like this is an amazing feeling. I never thought I'd be doing it, but I am. I've been doing it now since last year and I love it. So
Yeah,
anyway.
I love
Yeah.
that. Come on,
Yeah,
find
it's
it.
exciting. It's very exciting. Yeah. How do you stay motivated when the industry gets tough?
I just stay motivated. I think that's a good question. Well, I kind of look at where I want to be down the line, right?
Mhm.
Luckily, I've had so many different examples of experiences just in life in general where things didn't work out, but it made way for something else. And the lesson that I learned during that experience was molding me to be able to receive that. So when it comes to staying motivated, whenever I get a no or, I don't, maybe things don't work out the way I want, like I've relied a lot on God's timing. So the big picture, keeping the eye on the big picture and
Mhm.
knowing that and accepting quickly or quicker that, okay, this just wasn't meant for me, keeps me
Yeah.
locked in and not in a state of regression or, not
Mhm.
feeling good enough or what have you. So honestly, I think what keeps me anchored and motivated, I think is just being anchored spiritually. I think that's what keeps me motivated.
I love
Because
it.
you might think it might be like a tangible thing. Yes, there is this fire and this desire, not to rhyme, Drake, for me to get to where I want to go, and I want to have this, I want to have that. Yes, that vision is that dangling carrot. That that vision
Hmm.
is very vivid and very attainable, yet at the same time, you can't do it without faith. So faith is my motivator.
Amen, girl. Yes. Knowing what's for you is for you. That is so, so, yeah, I love that. What's a moment in your career that felt like, okay, I'm really doing this? Like, what's a moment that stands out to you?
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big one. I think a moment that's just okay, I'm really doing this is when I wasn't selected by the Netflix as a joke people, but my friend that did Netflix as a joke asked me to host his show. And even though I wasn't necessarily selected for part of it, like being in that moment and being able to be on those stages during that, 10 days or of chaos was kind of like, okay, like, no, like this is a beautiful event and I'm really in this, capacity. And it was great. It was
Wow.
motivating and it was a unique experience that a lot of people might not think, oh well, they themselves didn't pick you, so you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't like feel like this is a win for you. I'm like, no, it is, because what we do is we can take whatever experience that we get a taste of, we can
Mm-hmm.
take that experience and use that as the catalyst, the motivator,
Mm-hmm.
the visual to work
Yeah.
towards. So I think, again, looking at something so small, but turning it into and seeing and kind of internalizing
Mm.
the greater value of the experience. So I think that was like,
Mm.
okay, this was okay. Like this was
Yeah.
really dope.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I mean, there's so many different moments. Dang, Erica, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, all of them.
I can't name them all. And also, like, I'm still very much, I mean, I have a long way to go. When I say long way to go, hopefully not that much longer till I get to like the
Yeah.
next level. But, I plan on doing this until, so, it's one of those things where there'll just be little nuggets of little things
Mm-hmm.
over time. Oh man, what's another? I don't know. There's so many different little moments that just felt like,
Yeah.
okay, like, you are really kind of in this and doing this. I think
Yeah.
also too realizing when you live in LA and you're in entertainment, you are in this bubble. And when
Mm.
you go back home in whatever regard,
Mm.
you're just you. And then to be like, oh man, I saw you on, all that, da, da, da. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I did that. That was so cool. Or
Yeah.
like, one of, somebody I know's favorite comedians. So I know them really well. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Like, yeah, I can like those types of interactions you don't really, think about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. There's so many moments, Erica. I don't know, girl. That was just one.
I love it. But
One.
you're doing it. The main thing is you're on the path, you're doing it. And I don't think you have that far to go as you say. I believe you're closer than you think.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
You're doing a great job. Yeah, girl.
Thank you, boo.
All right, so you travel a lot.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite city to perform in and just vibe in? Like, what's been your
Five.
favorite?
Okay, we talking. Okay, only to perform as in the venue,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what? I think one of my favorite clubs that I performed in, he just recently opened up a new location, but one of my favorite clubs is Super Funny. Nate
Okay.
Justin's Super Funny in Tacoma. Great club.
Nice.
Like good vibe. When you say vibe, I'm like, oh, there's
Yeah.
definitely like a vibe there too.
Okay.
Where else? Skimming through. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
Okay.
For
So
one,
what about just
we're not gonna sex playlist this. Ask me for one, I'll say one, and I'm
you know that might be the title of this episode. We're not gonna sex playlist
we're not gonna
this.
sex playlist this song.
So okay, so what about now? I have to ask. So that was to perform in. What about just to travel to? What's your favorite city to travel to in general? To just for fun? Yeah, no work, just fun.
Spiritual alignment or decompression. Okay. I mean that can be fun too. All right, so I got
Yeah.
to answer it in two parts. My My favorite place is in Costa Rica. I'm not
Mm.
gonna say the specific city. It's like a off the grid kind of thing. I go there to really kind of decompress. It's been like that the last like kind of 10 years.
Okay.
I like to just like go by myself and just vibe. But Costa Rica is
Wow.
a wonderful just place in general, just to kind of for me to just unpack. I haven't had to
Mm.
go in about a year and a half by myself, but that's where I like to unpack. Cities. There's a lot of cities I just love to be in for different reasons. You get spoiled when you live in LA. So
Mm-hmm.
not to throw shade at anywhere else, but when you live in LA,
Mm.
you get spoiled by LA's awesomeness. Like LA is a dope place to live in the US. You get good weather. You can do and live in LA however you want to. There's a family side of LA, in different areas. There's,
Mm-hmm.
entertainment side.
Mm.
Get It's like a living in LA is like having a buffet. You can choose how you want to dine at any time. You can. You can do the turn up, have fun,
Yeah.
the LA. You can do,
Yeah.
you know what? I just want a movie experience, but you know what? I'm gonna go to Universal Studios for my movie experience,
Yeah.
not just go to the regular AMC. Or yeah, I want to go listen to some live music, but no, not
Mm.
live music. Like I want to go see an upcoming artist at a reputable lounge and experience like that
Mm-hmm.
authentic, or organic
Yeah.
artistry in the making.
Mm-hmm.
LA is a dope place. So
Mm-hmm.
what I have to choose is an international place. Or second, Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas, that's my literal second
Okay.
home. My dad lives
Yeah.
there, lived there a whole life. Much of my siblings are there. Cousins, family, aunties. Like, although from Oklahoma, I was raised in Oklahoma. I was
Mm.
co-raised literally by Houston. Houston, I like to go there and just recalibrate on all cylinders. In the
Love
States,
it.
if
Love
I
it.
had to choose out of the States, man, I'm a big fan of London, actually. I was
Mm-hmm.
just there for some shows. It was really, really dope. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but just to chill, just to kick it, I think I've traveled too much because like there's some I'm like, ooh, but for that, I like this and that for that. Seoul was actually nice. I was in Seoul
Oh,
a little
nice.
bit.
Yeah.
Seoul was dope,
Really?
dope. Like I would go back like
Wow. Wow.
instantly. Dope. I don't
Amazing.
know. I totally sex playlist that one. I didn't mean to sex playlist that one.
But
But
it's
that was a
cool.
big question.
It was. It was. It was a
Like,
lot to take. It was a lot to, to dissect.
get to it.
I'm not mad. For the girlies who want to travel by themselves, right?
Yes,
But they might
let's
be
talk
kind
about
of
it.
like they might be like, well, should I? Or like,
Yes, you
what?
should.
Yeah. So talk about that and like give some safety tips for the ladies who want to travel by themselves. Like,
Listen, I'm so glad you asked this question. All right, let me put my light back on for this one. All right, cool. Actually, no, it's a weird glare. We're gonna keep it off. All right, so if you want to travel by yourself, so
hmm
one thing you have to do is remove the fear, right?
yes,
Because once you have to remove that fear because it's gonna fuck up your whole experience. Hopefully, I can cuss on this because it's gonna mess up your
yeah,
whole experience.
absolutely,
All right, cool.
yeah,
So you have to kind of remove that a little bit. They have all of these. Have you seen like the little like safety thing online where it's like you can so nobody can come into your room at night and it has the lock on the they have those different
yeah,
things that you can like kind of like I don't know take and proof your hotel room.
yeah.
I don't believe in that. If somebody,
Okay,
listen, one, I think that creates a certain level of paranoia. Two, and
agree.
also three, like, if you gonna do all that and you can just come take me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got to do all that, come take me. But no, one, I would go, always stay when you're looking for somewhere to stay in a very populated place. So,
Okay,
for instance, maybe you want to go to, like, I want to go to Budapest. Probably
okay,
gonna go by myself. Might not. I don't know. Who knows? Things I'm gonna look for is I've never been there before. I use this example of somewhere I've never been. So I'm gonna look for a highly populated kind of touristy area to stay in if I'm by myself.
okay.
When I'm traveling solo, other than the place that I just mentioned, not trying to do off the beaten path kind of with that
hmm
sort of thing. So stay in your heavily populated areas. Of course, always be aware of your surroundings. Always have your
hmm
cell phone charged. When it
hmm
comes to pickpocketing, keep your stuff close to your person, right? So sometimes especially if I'm traveling, like if something got stolen of mine, I would be a fucking like what Schitt's Creek. So I keep very important things on me and on me close.
Mm-hmm.
So in the event something is stolen, it's not any of my key important things. Of course, always watch your surroundings. I would say don't talk to strangers, but I'd be talking to strangers. But I'd be talking to strangers. But only strangers I have good vibes about. You
Right.
got to be able to
Okay.
filter through the good vibes.
Discernment. Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to getting there, how you book your travel, make sure that you book your transportation through like a Viator or somewhere that's a public service. Uber, I Uber
Mm-hmm.
around a lot. In places that have Uber, it's very simple. If they don't
Mm-hmm.
have Uber, go through an actual travel, not agency, but a travel website to organize your bookings. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times, sometimes the dude at the airport be like, "Oh, here's my card. If you need transportation, they'd be trying to get you." They not the taxis, they the niggas next to the taxi people, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to do their own side hustle, which sometimes that works.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're traveling by yourself, especially for the first time, or if you're not comfortable traveling by yourself, always make sure to book your transportation through, again, like a Viator, TripAdvisor, Expedia, something that is a reputable site. And I'm not talking about your airplane ticket. I'm talking about your transportation from the hotel to the airport and vice versa, or to your excursions if it's not already built in. Of course, wash your drinks, watch your drinks. Everybody, talks about, watching your
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, and just have fun. I mean, I think
Yeah.
there's this kind of, we've seen again the takens and we hear about the human trafficking and all the things. Just do your research on the country that you go to, right? Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
like I wouldn't recommend going to, I don't know, somewhere in the Middle East by yourself, right? I got
Right.
taken as a prostitute with my homegirls in Qatar. That's a whole nother story. But what I'm saying
My
is
God.
know where you're going and remove that fear layer first, because I'm a firm believer that if you do all the things and you've got to feel like you got to do the locks, and I'm not knocking that. I say that
Mm-hmm.
jokingly earlier. I'm not knocking that. If you feel the need to do that, but removing the guise of fear, because sometimes
Yeah.
we attract what we fear,
That's the word.
but also you can't be aloof either. So you have to have this balance of being carefree and being present where you are, but also not being aloof to your environment.
Yeah. 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 Being vigilant at the same time. Yeah, I get that. That's amazing. That was good advice.
Yeah,
Yes, Courtney.
I've been just telling like Courtney told me to not lock my hotel room door, bitch. I didn't say that. I said don't do the most when you do it.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes, that's what she said. That's
Yeah.
what she said. I
And
love
also
it.
it'd be helpful if you know like some little moves too. Like I'm about to be a jujitsu master. I'm working on it. I'm about to, because I
Okay.
want to be able to get on myself. And as I start, like getting, deeper into my career and alone moments, like whether it be on the road or what have you, or just in travel in general, like learning certain self-defense moves that can
Hmm.
buy you time and to disable
Yeah.
something or someone to get you to safety. So that's also important. Now, I'm not saying that you got to be a jujitsu master and you got to not lock your hotel room and you got to just like I'm not saying all that, but things to consider. So have fun when
Things
you're
to
traveling
consider.
alone. Don't be stupid. Don't be going off with locals too deep
Hmm.
and stuff either.
Yeah.
Stay in the populated areas, I love to meet people when I travel alone and
Hmm.
go, okay, cool, go whoop, have a little drink some. Okay, cool. But
Yeah.
it's always okay, back to my personal my space. I don't go out one
Hmm.
on one alone with nobody.
Hmm.
Wherever I do decide, oh, okay, cool, they seem like a vibe, cool. Heavily populated areas,
Yeah.
those are key. 'Cause sometimes hoes be going on vacation, what I'm saying, trying to find a bae, which, okay, cool, cool,
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah. Do
But
you?
sometimes, when you subject yourselves to that type of vibe, especially as women,
Yeah.
a lot of situations that are unsafe. So just be mindful and
Love
just
that.
be keeping a good vibe and having a good time your number one priority.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Love that. Okay. So, what's one travel experience that changed your perspective or your thought or taught you something major? What is something that taught you something major in traveling, an experience, or change your perspective?
Huh. Change my perspective. Okay, two
Hmm.
things immediately come to mind. When I
Hmm.
first, the first perspective change I had, it wasn't my first place I went out of the country. The first place I went out of the country to was London. My sister used to live there. And the second place I went to was Costa Rica.
Okay.
And for some reason, there was a stillness that Costa Rica provided that I can't explain. And it
Mm.
made me stop, analyze
Hmm.
for the first time in a long time of living a, fairly chaotic life. Like I could be still. I felt stillness.
Hmm.
I felt I could feel the earth. And it sounds so cheesy. It sounds cheesy as
No, girls, I'm here.
feel I could feel the earth. I could
Yes.
see the visions. I could
Yeah.
feel myself in rhythm and in sync
Mm.
what's happening on this planet. And I was like, that was a crazy experience. And so
Mm.
I took that, and not only, other things did broaden my perspective, but I kind of took that experience to always come back to that feeling of centering and stillness, whatever what I'm going through. So
Mm.
that taught me, like, yo, like, this is what being close to nature does to you. It snaps you
Mhm.
back in spiritually. And so that was a
Yes.
big nugget I took. So now every time any jungle I can find, oh, let's go to the jungle. Like, yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. Like, it
Yes.
changed kind of
Hmm.
how I navigate life and also spirituality to a degree.
I echo that. Echo it all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And traveling in general just broadens your perspective. And the earliest you
Hmm.
can do it, the most that's important. Second
Hmm.
thing, bamboozled. Don't get bamboozled, man. I was in Bangkok, man. I was in Bangkok. I At this time I had several countries under my belt. I'm at least 14 deep, right? And I'm in Bangkok, and me and my two best friends is who I travel mostly with. We consider ourselves, especially at the time, to be kind of like pros. Like, we know the ins and outs. Like, we like never
Yeah.
get bamboozled. We were on this like temple tour, right? And
Hmm.
this dude was like, yo, the blue sapphire at this particular time is really, really cheap in Thailand. And then he explained it and some bullshit about the US market and the trade and then tariffs. And then like how, right now is the best time to buy a blue sapphire rather. And I was like, we were like, oh wow. And so I have one right here. It was just us three. We was leaning at the temple. He's like, I have one right here. We were like, ooh, he was like, you can look at it. I reached to grab it, and he was like, "No, no, no, you can't touch it." I was like, he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh," looking at each other. He's like, "Now," he's like, "I know you're on a tour, but I happen to have a car that's going to the jewelry spot right now." We were like, "We should go. We should go. We should go because right now this is the only time we're gonna ever be able to afford a blue sapphire." Did you hear him about the value right now? And did you hear him about how the value of the blue sapphire is gonna go up? We need to get it now. Toot toot waiting outside. Beep beep. Already ready to go. Pedal almost already in motion. Like, so we get to this jewelry store, right? And
Uh-huh.
we go in, and there was like nobody in the jewelry store with us, and we're like, "Oh, wait a minute, blue sapphire can't be that much of a commodity to buy it." So I walk in, I'm like, "Hey, I'm here for the blue sapphire." So they're, "Oh yeah, 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 come on, come on, come on, come on." And I look at dude, he winks at the other people. I'm like, "What? No, 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 this is a bamboozle moment." He one of those aha moments, like, you don't
Yeah.
buy a blue sapphire right now. Ain't nothing special about a blue sapphire. Like,
Oh, yeah.
almost got me, almost got me.
Mm.
But that was that pedal game was that performance and pedal, that hustle was
Mhm.
tighter than Jamaicans or Mexicans trying to sell you stuff on the beach of the resort. That was some grade A, and I'm not even saying the phrasing right. He believable,
Wow.
but I didn't. I didn't do
Well, I'm
it.
so glad you didn't,
So
girl.
I
I'm
learned how
so
not to be swindled. I learned how not to be swindled.
That's it.
Those are the two things that travel has taught me outside of
Love
just
it.
larger, broader.
I'm glad you learned that lesson.
Man, because when you by yourself, it's different. Like when you're not with a parent, or you're not with like
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
partner. You just with your
Yeah.
homegirls, just vibing, having a good time. Like, you don't think that you're gullible, but then like you like that
Yeah.
ounce, whatever ounce of gullible that was left,
Mhm.
he got it. And we almost spent $2,000 for nothing. Anyway, but that's yeah.
Well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you made it out of that situation. So, are you a plan itinerary type or let's see where the day goes?
Hybrid.
Travel.
Hybrid. I like to know the lay of the land. So like this little
Okay.
box, I like to establish what the parameters and what the lay of the land looks like. And
Okay.
I piece by priority. So
Okay.
I get my dates in. Once the dates are locked in on, like, what time and whatever, then I
Mhm.
look at what I want to do, what's
Mhm.
important that I do, and I
Okay.
put in the importance of what I want to do baked in somewhere in the schedule. But
Okay.
always leave a day, even if I might come on vacations where it's nothing I want to do. I just want to be
Mhm.
present with, whoever I'm with, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But most times, like, there's something that I want to do,
Mhm.
and I will make sure that I schedule that and be very anal about that. And then whatever happens around it, I don't care. So a
Awesome.
blend of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Always gotta
perfect.
have that free time because you could always get thrown up. Something could come up. You're like, oh,
Never know what comes up.
you need to
There's
go. Yeah.
always something. Yeah. You gotta be flexible. Okay. So if you could teleport to any country right now, just for the food, where would you go?
Oh, that's a tough one. I probably would teleport to. Oh, that's tough. Erica. Just one.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
one country for
Yeah.
the food.
Or more. We can sex playlist it. It's fine.
I
Whatever.
love pastries. I love the craft of the art of baking. So I'm either going to Paris to eat a bunch of pastries.
I'm with that.
Just
I'm a pastry girl myself.
yes, I don't care about their food. I don't care about the other. I don't care
Mm-mm.
the cordon bleu entree shit. I don't care about that.
No.
Run to me,
Give me a croissant.
my croissant. Run me my croissant. Jacques Nephew. I expect you to run me my croissant.
Yes,
That's what I want.
1000%.
Give
That
me my
makes me so happy.
yeah. And there's different, oh my gosh, like tiramisus, the art of, oh, there's this one, I can't remember. Oh, this is such an on the spot question. I can't remember the name of the pastry, but I can't. Macarons, a lot of people call them macaroons, but they're called macarons.
Yes.
Macarons, whatever.
Macarons. Okay.
Macarons,
Macarons.
not
Macarons.
macarons. Yeah, them bitches, my favorite. So in Paris, I'm getting those and my croissant.
Mm.
First two things. Don't let it be passion fruit. Don't let it be matcha.
Makes me happy.
Don't
It
let it
makes
be
me
a
happy.
macaron. Macaron. I haven't said that out loud in a long time. You know how you don't be saying words out loud for a long time and you be like,
Yeah, and
uh,
that just comes out. You're like, did I say that?
uh, a muff, uh, uh, yeah.
And so, how does being a vegan show up in your travels? Any hacks for staying plant based on the go?
Oh, 100%. Do your research
Okay.
before you get to a place, bitch. Never show up and just hope for a vegan option. You're every time. So when it comes to travel, I always make sure the resort or the hotel that I'm staying at is modern enough to where there are vegan options. Most resorts have them. If I'm not staying in a resort, totally fine. Make sure that the area has vegan options or plant-based
Mm-hmm.
restaurants. Which in a 2025 very modern world, a lot of them have it.
Yes.
Ooh, I left out a place, Peru. They
Oh.
have one of the best vegan, oh my God, so good. Vegan options. I would definitely okay. But yeah, so I
Peru.
always research before.
Okay. Always research, never assume.
Never
Okay.
assume, but you're gonna find places. And adaptations are key, right? So always make sure before at least 72 hours before your flight, you make your meal preference on your flight, or if you don't, you'll be a hungry bitch for 15 plus hours on your flight. Make sure you go in, you set your dietary restrictions on your
Yeah.
flight for your meals so you can be
Okay.
taken care of and pack snacks.
Okay. Yes. I'm here for it. So, has being a vegan influenced your creativity or your perspective as a comedian?
I think the thing with veganism and why I do it, it keeps me clear or spiritually. So I
Okay.
like to keep my body light in a lot of different ways. And so if there's any tie to veganism and my comedy, it's discipline
Mm-hmm.
and also, keeping the signal, right, to creativity clear, not having the static. I don't like static in my body. So I don't like static elsewhere too. So those are the two ways that they intertwine.
Love it. Okay, that makes so much sense. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
How
but
do you define passion in huh?
I said no shade to anyone who's not. I'm not one of those vegans that pushes veganism
Oh
on
yeah,
people.
no.
But yeah,
But no, I mean it's good to hear the perspective. And I have practiced vegan before. I
yeah,
tried it. Vegan wasn't so much for me, but vegetarian. A
yeah. That's exactly.
pescatarian, like
Oh,
that's the
pescatarian.
lifestyle. Yeah.
I was a pescatarian for
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah, yeah. I try to do most non-dairy, but
Yeah,
I do be having the cookie and the croissant and the cheese when I if I want it. So
yeah, yeah. Because it's
yeah,
your life. You can do what you want. Do what makes you happy. Yeah,
every now and again, right? But yeah, so I can't do vegan, but I can do vegetarian, pescatarian. But yeah, no shade to no one and what they do. So
Absolutely.
I stand with that. Okay, how do you define passion in your life right now?
How do I define passion?
Yes, yes.
I would say not only is like passion fuel,
Mm-hmm.
like define it as a thing, or how would I like, what was my definition of passion? Like, I need this too broad, Erica.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say,
So, how do you find it in your own life? What does passion mean to you?
what does passion mean to me?
Yeah.
Fight, I think.
Okay.
Fight. If I'm not passionate about something, I'm not a fighter for it. So,
Mm.
and if I'm a fighter for it, if I'm passionate about something, that also means that it's heavily tied, I think, to something in me. It means alignment.
Mm.
So, if I've got passion for something, I've got alignment and I've got fight.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Fight. No. All I love the deep. No, I want the deep. The deep is good. I'm just taking it in. I was like taking the. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't be passionate about something I'm not aligned with, what
Yeah,
doesn't
that
align.
is.
And I
Because
can't.
that's in your. That's how you know you're in your purpose. So
Exactly.
it goes back to purpose.
Exactly.
Same thing. And God and spirituality, all the things.
Yeah. Whoever you pray to in the
Yeah.
Lord.
Amen. Okay. Spirituality, all the things. Yeah. All right. Because I know me personally, I don't do nothing without my God. So, you know what I'm saying? So that is all of the.
I was
Yes.
a church fan. I don't have one right now, but this was
Yeah.
the picture of Martin Luther King on it. The Martin Luther King, that one.
Yes,
And
girl.
then the
I
other
got the
one, the Black
visual.
family. That one.
I got it. Yes, girl. I take it to church. Okay. So what advice would you give someone trying to balance multiple passions or just still trying to figure it out? Like if they don't know what their purpose is and they're like, I'm trying to juggle all these things. I think I love this. I think I like to do this, but I how do you
Sit still.
talk to that person?
Sit still. Sit
Okay.
still.
Okay.
And you'll get your answer.
Yeah.
And sitting still also, you sit still and you cut out the clutter, you cut out the distractions. Like, I'm not saying sit
Mm.
still on the phone or sitting still watching TV. No, like literally
Mm-hmm.
sit doing that over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And finding and doing things that actually pour into you and make you genuinely happy. There aren't,
Ooh.
or they're not placeholders. We're not talking about going out to brunch with our homegirls, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us feel good, but at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, it might not be fulfilling to the core, right? So
Mm.
go and sit in isolation,
Yes.
take a beat, and figure out what really pours into you. And sometimes what
Mm.
pours into you won't give you any money. It's not a financial return that you're going to get immediately.
Yeah.
And whatever that thing is that you would do for free, that you would that when you're done with doing it, man, it energizes you. You don't wake up drunk and tired from it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
wake up feeling from here elated. That's how
Mm.
you find it, but you won't find it if you're too busy doing too many different things and you got to sit through the
Yeah.
discomfort.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. Preach, sister. Preach. Okay. So, what is something that you're unlearning or giving yourself more grace around these days?
I am giving myself more grace on several different things. Sometimes I be feeling like I'm not doing enough. And I have to tell myself that it's not about doing everything,
Mm-hmm.
about doing the right things. So the more targeted you can be with your action, with your execution, that's
Mm-hmm.
what matters. Not all the other stuff in between. So giving myself my house is a mess right now. But I'm giving, and I don't like that. I'd like to listen,
Yeah.
but I'm giving myself grace because, like, guess what, bitch? You've been working. You've been everywhere. So it's okay. Take a beat. Don't worry. We can get to that. But
Mm-hmm.
also say, keeping a clean, like decluttering everywhere. Your
Mm.
mind, your spirit, your friends, your time, which all translates to your energy, your space, all translates to your energy because your energy needs to go specific places.
Yes.
I'm giving myself grace and knowing I can't do it all and I won't do it all, but as long as I do the things that I know I'm supposed to be doing and execute on the right things, still moving the needle forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, girl. Because sometimes we want to do it all, but we just can't. We
Can't.
just can't. Yeah. Yeah. So, I love that. All right. So, what's next for you? Upcoming dates, all the things.
The 29th. Oh, perfect. So sketchy behavior on the
Yes.
sketchy behavior. If you are in the Hollywood, LA, I don't even care if you in Ontario, you in Santa Ana, you in Santa Clarita, even if you in San Diego. If you have California next to your city of which you live in, come out to Sketchy Behaviors. Be myself and Brandon Denise. It's a fire sketch plus comedy stand-up comedy show. We're obviously, stand-up comedians, but, sketch is one of the things that we feel as I'm not saying it's not a lost art form, but it's something that, we want to kind of step out and do. And we like to call it like the key and pill with boobs, right? That's kind of, what we're doing, but we're doing it live on stage. So it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be different, it's gonna be a good time, it's gonna be silly. So you should
Yeah.
absolutely come out to Sketchy Behavior April 30th in Hollywood.
Mhm.
And you can go to CourtneyHaynes.com, CourtneyHaynes.com for
Mhm.
the date and the
Mhm.
tickets and all of the definite location information.
Perfection. And yes, all of the information will be in the description of the video, show notes, all the things. So yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yay. Well, Courtney, that's literally all
That's
I
great.
had for you. Yay.